Hi, my brothers and sisters. So forgive me for my appearance. I know it's silly. I just got this cute little, I know it's super childish, but you know what? I work with kids, and I always, my whole life, I work outside other than my profession. My profession when I was younger was being a professional nanny for a very affluent family. And that family knew a lot of very affluent families here in Philadelphia. And for example, just to tell you, so anyway, I'm attracted to this child. They're still as an adult. You know what? I said, I'm home. No one sees me. Who cares? So I was going to just record like this and put it up higher, but I was just getting ready to, take my makeup off and just go eat something and get into prayer. And I'm feeling a lot of you are having anxiety. And as I have recorded a video, and by the way, hi, welcome to my channel. This is Anna or Anya. I am so glad that you're here. And one of the reasons that I forgot, one of the many topics that I forgot to bring up is I don't recall bringing up a topic of if, in case Biden and Kamala Harris will win, what is the next step? So here I am to tell you what will take place in accordance to what I have seen on television. I'm not going to say that I have prayed about it because I haven't. So here it is. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Remember that Kamala Harris has been in a federal witness protection program. You know that because of the attempted plan to kidnap her, and it also planned attempted, I think it was assassination. However, don't hold me to it, because I know of a kidnapping plan against Kamala Harris, and there was also, I think it was for, I think it was a governor of Georgia, wasn't it? Whatever. So she was on that list with that other woman. The point is, Kamala Harris is in a witness protection program, and federal, not state, not local, federal. She is a vice presidential candidate for Joe Biden. Joe Biden, you've been seeing, he is, as if in an almost bizarre way, he has difficulties speaking, expressing himself. He forgets what he's talking about. I don't think it's the beginnings of dementia. I don't think it's, I do believe he's under a certain type of demonic oppression. However, the reason why he's under that is because he's done a lot of vile things to this country, and he has activated a very specific curses that the biblical text, for example, I've been discussing a lot of Isaiah. If you read Isaiah and you read slowly, and this is why sometimes one chapter I told you, I know for a fact where we are in a timeline. So please don't look up to the wicked ones, occultists, the enemy, what they think, where they are in a timeline. It doesn't matter what they think, where they are in a timeline. It matters not. I repeat, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they tell you. Do you understand? It matters, as they might be right in a lot of ways. Ultimately, it will be what you will receive through prayer on your knees. Father told me to stop watching news years ago and all these things, and guess what? I don't have to watch TV, and yet I knew who is going to win the last presidential elections, and he won. I knew every single thing that's coming now with President Trump, like his attempted assassination. He will survive. He will live through it. There's a few variables, and even by the way, the biblical code has the name of his attempted murderer. Okay? So at this point, I'm going to say the name of an assassin is in a biblical code for President Trump. So, for example, my point is someone like Jonathan from the codesearcher.com, he knows of this. Why isn't he contacting Secret Service or the FBI? We know FBI is extremely corrupted, but they should pass this information on to the Secret Service so they can immediately run a background search, because I believe the father had him work on that code search, of course, so he could provide that information to the appropriate governmental official, and Jonathan just says, no, no one will even listen to me. Yet he doesn't even want to say the name of a person. He doesn't want to be liable. That's not how we work. He has to do something about it, and I just hope that almost that as is the right person, he hears this and will go look that up. This man has to, not publicly, but someone has to get that first and last name of that person down, because that person is already in all these alleys. This person has to be either very close to President Trump, and he has to be part of this government, and this is going to be, this can happen whether he becomes president or not, even though I do believe Trump will become the president. If Biden would become president, which he will not, if Biden would become president, Kamala Harris, the his own people, the so-called Democrats, they are in such turmoil with one another right now. All these factions will soon unite either way. The Democrats and Republicans, remember, at the bottom line, at the end of the day, they're all working together because they will unite to not only launch the beast system. So a lot of things that they do, as some work and are not aware, even they're high-level Illuminatis or Masons, if you're not the top of the top, you're not going to know ultimately what's going on, because the knowledge, again, I repeat, is so highly compartmentalized. However, we, the elect, we know that. We know what they don't know. We know even more than the enemy releases to them. Why? Because we are reliving this. Again, I repeat, as an elect, you've been trained. You've been in this timeline. You've watched yourself. I watch myself often in my own, this human flesh, from the outside, as an outside. And then I remember today, I realized this 3 days ago, and we are in the 12th week of the 4th day of in the midst. In the midst, that's where the rapture happens. In the midst, that's where Satan takes over the body of the Antichrist, and Antichrist becomes launched into the world. So with this being said, Antichrist, I guess ultimately Trump cannot be. Why? Because the so-called Sanhedrin in Israel is saying that they're speaking with the Messiah. They've been really referring to Trump as their Messiah. They've dedicated a lot of new settlements, kind of like playground settlements, entire settlements, cities to Trump. So they do see him as the Messiah. So question is, are they referring, and they're just not telling us that they're speaking to Trump as their Messiah? So of course then Trump will have to win. That's another reason why Trump would have to win the second election, because Father, of course, is not done with him. And I know Father is not done with him because this country, in order not to enter immediately into severe judgments and the third seal being broken, they have to now outlaw the abortion. And that's what, that again, a Supreme Judge will be used for. And they have to clean up the Hollywood and all the pedophilia, all these pedophile networks. I'm talking about high level, not the ones that are local. I'm talking about that are interstate or not international by plane. Do you understand? That's coming to, not completely to an end, but a lot of will get resolved. With this being said, what the Democrats would do, which the woman that is in charge of Senate, I forget now her name or whatever, she just had a little scandal with her hair. She went to the hairstylist and it was over nothing. It was so stupid. But anyway, Nancy Pelosi already said on CNN that they're planning basically to disable him on mental incapacity issues, quote unquote, sort of speak, basically saying that he's incapable of serving functions in order to put Kamala Harris in a role of a president as ASAP, as soon as possible. Kamala Harris is, I'm going to tell you one thing about her. I don't know the woman, but look always into people's eyes and observe them and stick to the facts. If you do watch that news, don't judge, don't have an opinion. Learn to watch your tongue and don't speak it, because you don't even know that for the enemy, even though they have no right to judge you, they will be getting attached to you or your children or your house. So don't expose yourself and your positions, do you understand? Because that's what the enemy is using right now, trying to get glued onto you, whatever, or as much as they can, and your children. Protect your children, protect your house, protect your families, protect yourself, if you're an elect, simply I'm telling you this, please keep your mouth shut and learn to control your thoughts. That is what you must do right now, control your thoughts, because they're not your own. If you can hear your thoughts, they're not your own, they're Satan's.